Hi friends, my name is Lindsey and I run the blog Books for Christian Girls, and welcome back to the little corner of the internet where I talk mainly about Christian fiction. Today I am doing the bookshelf tag, which I am super duper excited to do because I was watching Holly's video and then she tagged me to do it. So thank you so much, Holly. I will link her video and her channel down below. This is such a fun tag. I kind of just want to jump on into it because, you know, it's all about bookshelves. Like, we love talking about books, but talking about bookshelves and how we arrange our bookshelves and everything is fun too. So let's get started. Question number 1, how many bookshelves do you own? And I love that in Holly's video, Daisy says hello, that she was like, okay, so bookshelves, bookcases, bookshelf units, like which exactly are we referring to? Because my brain went exactly the same way. I kind of think of this as a bookshelf and then this as a bookcase personally. But I think they mean, like, in general, how many bookshelves, bookcases you have in your area, in your house. Personally, in my room, I have 11. If you're familiar with my room setup, I will link a room tour. It's outdated, but it still gives you, like, the general idea that my bed is on bookshelves. So I have 3 in the front, 2 in the back, and then 2 as a headboard. So I have a total of 11. There's those, and then there's one in my book nook. My reading nook, if you will. I've got these 2 rainbow ones, which do have height extension units on it, so they're taller than the average bookshelf. And then I have a bookshelf just of all my Korean books. So technically I have 11 bookshelves in my room, but only 10 of them have books on them because one of the ones underneath my bed I use for storage. So there you go. 11, but technically 10. Question number 2, how many books are on your shelves? And I haven't counted in so long. One of my very first videos I ever did on this channel was talking about where I bought books and counting how many books I owned. And at that time, I don't remember actually how many I had. That is an old video and it'd be very cringy for me to watch it. So I'm not going to rewatch it, but if you'd like to watch it and hopefully not cringe, go for it. I don't really know, so I went on Goodreads because I do keep loose track of how many books I own on there, mainly for the Christian fiction, and so I don't buy more duplicate books because that has happened in the past. And then I have got an insane TBR, and then I've got other books organized by like my childhood books I own, and then like Mangum, Manhwa, that kind of thing. So altogether it says I have 1,013 books, but I feel like that's probably off by 100, give or take. I'm not quite sure. I feel like I've got some things double marked on there, and then I feel like there's some books I've gotten recently that I haven't added onto those shelves. So let's just roughly say probably about 1,000. I don't know why this lighting is so terrible. It's really cloudy outside, so it keeps going back and forth. I hear a beagle that's fixing to probably interrupt us. But question number 3 is, how do you organize your bookshelves? Hi, Daisy. Now that we have a beagle trapped in here, we're going to hear her little jingles, but hopefully she won't bark. Right? Come here. Bless you. Come here. So question number 3, how do you organize your bookshelves? Well, behind me, this is all Christian fiction behind me. Floor to ceiling Christian fiction. And it's organized in a rainbow order because I find that very pretty. I actually did a whole video on doing that while I was losing my mind. It was finals in college and I was just having a blast. So it stayed that way ever since. Let me let her out just a minute. For the rest of my room though, it's kind of organized in genre or by category group. Like I have all my childhood favorite books together, I've got all my nonfiction together, and they're just organized in a way that looks aesthetically pretty because I don't have to have them, in my opinion, in author's last name order or whatever. I just do it how I find it nice. The only time I think you could say I don't have my books arranged in an aesthetic way would be my TBR, and that's completely organized by genre. But again, it's not really organized by author's last name within that genre. It's just organized how I like it. Like historical, I actually have it in a loose version of the time period it's set in. So like from oldest to newest, almost present day kind of concept. But yeah, I really just organize it how I like them. Question number 4 is, what is the oldest book on your bookshelf? And that's open to interpretation. So I don't really do old vintage books because number 1, I can't clean them, and I clean every book that comes into my room because I am that person. And I have white bookshelves and things get dirty so fast. And then I also am not a fan of the smell of old books. I'm one of those weirdos. I just don't like it smells musty and dusty, and I just don't like it. But for oldest book as in publication date wise, it probably would be this copy of North and South by Elisabeth Gaskell. I have not read it. I believe it was published in the 70s, this edition. Yes, it looks like it was published in the 70s, so it's not really old, but like it looks older than what I think it really is, because it's very brown, as you can tell, which is not my favorite, but it was in really good shape, and the spine's not cracked, which feels like a really impressive thing that it's that old. I feel like there's definitely people who are watching my videos who were born in the 70s, so I apologize. I don't mean to make you feel old. For book age-wise, I feel like it's in really good shape. And again, the spine's not cracked. What I think is so funny, though, is it has an original price tag of $2.95 on it. I just think that's really funny. And then I paid $5 for it, so, you know, inflation. No. As far as other books, like from childhood books, I have an old copy of Baby Island that I loved when I was in elementary school. This is not the old edition. I'd love to get that one, though, because it is very cute. If I can find a picture, I'll stick it up here on the screen. But this one, the copyright is 65, but I don't feel like this is a 65 version. This art style does not, this feels 90s to me, if we're being honest. But then also, that was one of my favorite books, but I also really loved The Famous Five, and I think this was on Treasure Island, yes, book 1. And I think it's Enid Blyton is the author. Okay, here's the thing. I have had difficulty for years reading this font of this author's name. I never knew her name until a few years ago. Oops. So my Nana is actually British, and she still lives in England, and she would always send my sister and I different gifts growing up. So like a lot of British chocolate, because British chocolate was the best growing up. But then I would also get some books because she knew I loved reading. So I always received one fairy series. There was always a lot of those throughout the years. But then she one time sent me this book, and I just loved it so much. So I've read it multiple times. It's probably not that old because it's from my childhood. Yeah, this edition, 1997. So I was born in 99, and I definitely did not receive it when I was a baby. So, you know, elementary age. And I never actually finished this series. I always thought it would be really neat to find it, but I never thought of looking for them here in the States because my Nana, my British Nana, sent it to me from England. So I never hunted for them, but then a few years ago I was like, oh hey, wait a second. I'm seeing other people add these on Goodreads. They're available here in the US. I don't know why. I never thought that through, so I'm slowly building up the collection of this series, but I want this edition to match. So there you go. That's kind of a roundabout answer for this one, but those would be my 3, I guess you could say, oldest books. Question number 5, what is the newest book on your bookshelf? And it's not officially on my bookshelf yet, but I just did a Pango Books order, and I got this one, and I'm so excited. It's The Heart's Choice by Tracie Peterson and Kimberley Woodhouse. I read this one earlier this year. I'll link my recent reads where I talked about it. But it's set in 1904, which is my time period I love so much. I don't know, it's just that time period. I'm just like, oh, yes, I love it. If you have a book set in that time period, I'm going to be more apt to read it. And the main girl is a courtroom reporter, though, and the guy is the librarian. And I don't know, I've seen it switched, but I've never seen it that way before, like with their professions, their jobs. So it was just a really good read. It was very sweet, good faith content. Looking forward to continue the rest of the series. But look at that purple spine. I can always use more purple books in my life. Also pink books. I need more pink spines, but I'm very excited. I will have to rearrange to add this one onto my shelf, but eventually it will be on my shelf. Question number 6, what is the longest book on your shelf? And I'm just now realizing that I totally didn't understand this question right. Oops. So I didn't really keep many of my childhood books, so I was thinking, okay, so it's probably like Baby Island or something, you know, or The Famous Five on Treasure Island, like I had just mentioned. But I'm thinking they mean longest as in the most pages, right? And I do have a 900-page book, but I really don't want to have to grab it, so I'm just gonna put the picture here. It's one of the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. Got that title. If you know my videos, you know I've been struggling with that series title. It's one of those. It's like 900 pages. That whole series is big. I see it. Why do I keep looking that way? Because it's right up there on my bookshelf. I'll take a picture of it, and there it is. So I have it. I own it. I don't really feel up to going and getting it. So I'm sorry, but that's probably my longest book, if that's what that's meant to be. Besides like my Bible or reference books I have, that would probably be my longest book. Question number 7, what is the shortest book on your bookshelf? And for some reason I was like, oh yeah, tiniest. That's what that means. But that probably also means the least amount of pages. And I know I have a few novellas lurking about that are probably like 90 pages. I know I have a few of those, but I want to highlight these other 2 books, so that's what I'm going to do. And that is The Reluctant Godfather by Alison and Tebo. This is a tiny, cute little book about a reluctant godfather, and I recently reread this one. I had forgotten so much of it, and it was still so cute. It was so cute. Like, oh, highly recommend. It is, let's see, 126 pages. And then another tiny little book would be Red Rover by Elisabeth Kirkpatrick. This is the accidental cases of Emily Abbott. I struggle with that last name. I have ever since I was little. So this book is 163, but it's tiny. So does that really count? I'm not sure. But they're cute and tiny. I need to finish both of these series. I own them. Just haven't read them yet, but I need to. Question number 8, what is the predominant genre on your bookshelf? And Christian fiction, like I said earlier, this entire rainbow bookshelf is Christian fiction. So out of my whole room, Christian fiction would definitely be, because the majority of my physical TBR are also Christian fiction. But then within Christian fiction, I would say probably historical fiction. I probably have the most historical fiction. And then probably it's probably not a close second, but second would probably be young adult, because those are my favorite 2 genres right there. Question number 9, have you done a bookshelf tour? No. I have planned to finally make one this year, but hasn't happened yet. Eventually, one day, I would love to say I'll have one out before the end of the year, but I make no promises. I definitely will have one. If I don't get one done in December, I'll get it done in 2024. Those are big words. Can I take those words back? It's such an intimidating video to film, and like Holly said in her video, I really like the ones where like you pull out the book and you see the cover, because I love seeing pretty covers, and to be honest, we all judge books by covers. So I really, it's an intimidating video to film, y'all, especially now that I've said I have 1,000 books. The editing of that and just all of the details of that, I don't know. And also just the fact that I struggle so much with authors' last names. It's a very intimidating video to film. And some of y'all have messaged and commented that I should do, color by color, which is a great idea. I should do that. I feel like that, maybe do that, and then I could do like a really big one. Like piece it all together, maybe do something like that. I don't know, I'm still debating. It's an intimidating video that takes a lot of thinking and thought. So, have not filmed one yet. I've been on booktube. Well, has it been 6 or 7 years? I don't remember. I feel like it's been longer than that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've never done one. One day. Question number 10, or it's not really even a question, go on a random number generator and talk about a book that corresponds with that number. So we're going to have Sawyer help us out. We're just going to stick with my Christian fiction shelf. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then I'll do 19 because I have a stack of books at the bottom for a different video that I have planned that y'all can't see below this shelf. So I pulled those books already. So let's say, pick a number between 1 and 20.
That would be 19.
Of course, you're going to pick from the pile on the floor, sorry. Well, I have books I need to add to this bookshelf, and then I have ones for that video. So let's see. Pick a number between 1 and 30, please.
That would be 26.
Okay, just a minute. I made a mistake. There's only 25, so sorry, guess again.
It's 2.
2. Okay, I can do 2. Oh, the options. Which angle do I want to go? Oh, we have options. Okay. I haven't talked about this book in too long. Well, I mean, I just talked about it in a video, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. And that would be Sketchy Behavior by Erynn Mangum. It's like I planned this. I did not. The other option, had I counted the other way, would have been The Tapestry of Grace by Sawyer, which that was a very good book too. But if I have an opportunity to talk about Sketchy Behavior or any Erynn Mangum book, I'm taking it. I'm just going to take it. So this is a contemporary YA book. That is so much fun! Our main girl, Kate, is a very good artist, and at school in her art class, they introduced different fields where they could, you know, use their art skills. And for the premise of this book, they're doing forensic sketching. And it goes really great, and Kate does really good. So good, in fact, that her sketch is what catches this murderer. But then she goes from local hero to possible target when it sounds like the murderer has his friends trying to seek revenge on her. And it's just a very entertaining story. It sounds scary or suspenseful, and I don't really think it would be. But I love this book so much, and I want to reread it right now. Oh, I have other responsibilities I have to do today, but I love this book. So excited I got to talk about this book. And then the final question for this tag is question number 11. Do you have any fan merch or any other decorations on your bookshelf? And they are slowly getting pushed out because I'm running out of room on these rainbow bookshelves, but I have a vintage camera collection. I have from 1902 all the way to the 1980s, which my 1980s one is this one here on the pink shelf. And I actually do use that one. It is in working order, and I have done film photography, and there is actually a roll of film in there I need to still finish. So that's really the only thing I keep on my bookshelf. I would love to potentially expand my bookshelf, my rainbow bookshelf, out a couple more shelves into my corner reading area, but I'm not quite sure if I'll I think I'll like it, but my reading nook would no longer be my reading nook. It would be a little different, so I don't know. My jury's out on all of that still. I'm still thinking about it all. But I would love to be able to work in different houseplants into my bookshelves. And if I expanded my bookshelves, I would do that. But currently, it's just books and my vintage cameras. And then, as always with a tag, you're supposed to tag someone, but I am so far behind on my watch later list. Like, y'all, it's got 500 videos on it. It's terrible. I'm working on it. I'm trying to watch just a couple every day, but it's really hard when all my booktube friends post multiple times in a week, and I'm just like, all these book recommendations, and I love it, but my watch later list is crumbling and crying, but it's okay because I will get there. I will catch up. But all that said, I'm super behind on my watch later list, and this video is probably going to be posted more than a month after I've filmed it, so I don't know who's done this video, if somebody does it before I get this video posted kind of thing. So if you see this tag and you're like, this looks really fun, I want to talk about my bookshelves, please consider yourself tagged. Let me know you're going to do it so I can watch out for it, and I will watch it when you post it. I won't watch it whenever I get to it on my watch later list. I will watch it right away. So I would love to watch y'all's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to do this on Instagram too, just let me know. Just message me that you posted it, or tag me in it. Do whatever you gotta do. I want to see it. This is really such a fun one because did I say it in the intro that we talk about books a lot, obviously on BookTube, but it's also really fun to talk about our bookshelves and just the overall ambiance, if you will, of our bookshelves. So yeah, it was lots of fun. Thank you again so much, Holly, for tagging me. I absolutely adored making this video. I feel like I rambled a bit at times. Hopefully it turned out well after editing it, but I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again, Holly, for the tag. This was really a fun video. I love getting to talk about all of the bookshelves in my room and not just the ones I always film behind. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't have a channel or an Instagram, feel free to let me know your answers to these down below. I would love to hear it. Particularly, what is the prominent genre on your bookshelf? I'm curious about that one because I'm a little shocked it's historical fiction, but at the same time, I'm not, because I do read a lot of historical fiction. I think that's my prominent one. I have quite a bit of contemporary, but I don't think it touches the amount of historical fiction. That could be a video in itself. Let me know if you'd be curious in seeing that. Also, another one about counting my bookshelves. Would y'all be interested in that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see y'all next time. So that's it for this video, but thank you so much for watching, especially if you got through all my rambling and all my fangirling. Thank you so much. I will hopefully see y'all next time. I am Lindsey from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where there is a new review every Monday and Friday. I try to post a new video on this channel every other Friday, if not sooner. I'm trying to do better and try to post videos more often because I do enjoy editing and filming these and sharing them and, you know, fangirling about books. It's lots of fun. But I'm also on Instagram and TikTok and Goodreads, and I'm trying to be more active on TikTok and Instagram as well. So hopefully I will see y'all here, there, and everywhere, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching, and have an absolutely lovely rest of your day.